Hi, I'm John.
Hi, I'm Cillian.
And welcome to
Half Dozen Homestead.
Half Dozen Homestead. Today we're working on these garden beds again. We got them all set up the other day, so now what we want to do is get our ground cover on them. And the ground cover is just going to keep the weed pressure off of them. And then we're also going to work on getting our grow hoses set up, getting the timer going. We put a ton of work into these beds, but what we like to do is put a lot of the work in the front, get the water system set up, get everything set up so that later on, once they're planted, it's just wait. And maybe doing a little bit of weeding around the holes. There's not a lot for us to do. So a lot of work in the springtime, but then we enjoy the fruits of our labors later on. Go ahead, what do you want to say?
This is nice soil for planting, and it'll give the plants nice and healthy vitamins.
It'll keep the plants nice and healthy. Our bed that's planted here with the broccoli and the beets, that's going to be our ground vegetable bed, mostly the beets and the onions in the front. As soon as the broccoli and the cauliflower are done, we'll pull those out and we'll plant some more ground vegetables, carrots, that sort of stuff. So that bed won't get tarped, but these other 1, 2, 3, 4 beds are all going to get tarped, all going to get the irrigation system set up, and then we can plant them, set them, and forget them. Let's go. There we go. So we'll get some staples and we'll staple this down. We just don't want the wind catching it. Now that it's down, it can stay down for the rest of the season, possibly the next. We just had them up because we wanted to amend the soil and get our beds all packed again. So this is woven weave fabric, and we throw it down on our beds because it allows water to penetrate through, but doesn't allow weeds to grow up through. So it works out really well for us. We use a torch to cut it, and we use a torch to burn the holes in where we plant our plants, and it just keeps the weed pressure down, makes our lives a lot easier. It's awesome.
How hardy are onions?
Onions?
Yeah.
I think they're pretty good.
They don't look like they're dying yet, but they just...
Yeah, but like when I transplanted them last year, they looked a lot worse.
Yeah.
Is that a fire gun?
Yes. Yeah, because it makes a lot of stuff hot, so you got to be careful.
Okay, today I am using my beads to fill in the gaps in between my brassicas. Later on, I'm going to plant some zucchinis, and I'm hoping by next week to plant my cucumbers. I want to wait one more week because it's supposed to be cool and rainy this week, and I want the soil to be warm when I plant my cucumbers because they are not cold hardy.
Okay, so this water hose that goes all the way connects over there. Now what I gotta do is I'm gonna end up having to drill holes in here, run my new drip tape, tie it off, and then I've got one more bed that'll all be tied into the automatic water system. So the drip tape is this stuff right here. I bought it from a grower solution. It's called Global. And you buy it by like the kilometer or something like that. It's crazy long, but it's worked out well because I've been able to use it for all my different beds. So all it is it's a flat tape that has tiny little emitters, and this one, the emitters are spaced every 4 inches, and it's designed just to drip. Super low pressure, slow. So where some places you'll turn the water on for 20 minutes and get a soaked bed, this sort of system you want to run it for an hour or 50 minutes, something like that. Super slow, not a lot of flow, but it works really well for all the settings we use it in.
I'm planting my zucchini in this raised bed. The reason I chose this spot is because it's right in the corner, and since zucchini are mildew prone, I wanted them in a spot with the highest airflow. Yeah, I might have been a little too excited. I seeded them a bit early. They definitely need to be planted. Planting these zucchinis in these holes, it reminds me of my job.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay, and what's your job?
You're not putting that in the video.
Oh yeah, I am. Rachel's a labor and delivery nurse. And how many centimeters would you say those holes are from your limited experience?
Probably about a 9.
They're about dilated. I mean, they're about 9 centimeter holes. What's the game plan with this bed?
Plant some peppers because I already have a row set up here for peppers from last year. So I'll do 2 more rows of peppers in this bed. So I should be able to fit 20 pepper plants.
So what are you thinking a row here? 1.5 in and 1.5 in?
Yep.
So I could put a sprinkler line there and one over there.
Yep.
Okay. I'll put those in. So there's a punch tool you can get for this hose to punch it out the right size and then stick this in. I don't have it. Plus this hose is a different gauge. So I just use a step bet. I don't do too big because the point is that this barely fits so that when you're done, it's nice and tight. I always do the emitters up. Got these watering things done here. The next bed's set up. That open bed, we're just gonna water by hand. The idea is that a lot of those things are a springtime crop. And then my wife's planted the last bed with zucchinis all the way back here. And she planted those because she got really excited and seeded zucchinis in like February or something. So they should do okay in the greenhouse. The greenhouse will stay frost-free. And we will have an early batch of zucchinis, which we could eat and feed the pigs.
I said I wore my rings today because I told myself I wasn't going to be gardening or getting my hands dirty.
And?
But I came out here and I just can't help myself.
What are you transplanting?
My plum tomatoes.
Plum tomatoes. Let's see what you got in here. Zucchinis. Whole bunch of cucumbers growing up. Children in the background screaming. Lots of tomatoes. Peppers. What do you think, Calvin? Sprite. Did you top all your peppers? No, you didn't.
I'm not convinced it really.
Which ones did you top? Just the ones that were getting too big?
Yeah, a couple on the top of the back there.
Well, you can see that you're getting more in there. Are we gonna put the cages on tonight or not yet? Just
no. Probably give it a week or 2. sure they all make it.
What are you planting? Are they all the same?
This row is all Hungarian yellow hot peppers, like a hot banana pepper. And the next row will be mostly jalapenos and also some serrano and habaneros. And then the third row will be all sweet peppers. I'll probably have a ton left over, so I'll just give them to friends.
So, Rachel planted last night until it got dark, and it looks like she made a bunch of progress out here. So I'll show you what she did. We've got a couple rows of hot peppers. She'd tell you what type they are, but these two are hot peppers. I think these are starting to get into the sweet peppers, red bells and stuff. We also planted all of our cucumbers, sorry. So our cucumbers will eventually get trellised from these wires all the way up there down. And then everything else we have. We've got onions and broccoli and cauliflower and a whole bunch of beets. She even planted the first row of okra. So our okra are the first rows planted. We're hoping to do 3 rows of okra in this bed, just to give us a bunch. We weren't sure if we were going to like okra. We grew them for the first time last year, didn't know how we would do them, how they would taste. But my wife ended up pickling them, and they turned out awesome. We loved them. We gobbled them down. So this year we're going to triple the amount of okra we're growing. Last thing we got here is our zucchinis in our bed that we built this year. So the zucchinis are doing awesome. They're starting. Actually, if we look, you can see the first zucchini is actually starting to grow there. So maybe in a week or two we will have zucchinis, and that's another cool thing. Again, we're beginning of May, so having zucchinis by the end of May is super awesome. It's early, but it gives us a jump start on growing some vegetables for our family. Thanks for watching Half Dozen Homestead. We'll see you on the next one.